Hey, what is up, everybody? I am here to give you your WWE Raw review for June 6, 2015. Now, I want to tell you a little story. I was originally watching the show. I was actually streaming the show. Um, because I'm in Florida, and not many people are wrestling fans, so I figured it wouldn't be fair if I just put it on the TV. So I figured I'd stream the show, and the stream just crashed on me. Um, so I actually didn't get to see the full show. I started watching it, and then I didn't get to see the full show. So I'm probably just gonna watch it again, um, and um, and I'm just gonna watch it again and give my thoughts on it. It's broken up into parts, so as each part, after I'm done watching each part, I will give my thoughts on it. So I'll be back to give you my thoughts on Raw as time goes on. Alright, so for this show we have JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton on commentary. And they pay tribute to Dusty Rhodes again. They show that little moment of silence they did last night for the pay-per-view. And they play that video package again. I love watching it every time. And it's actually really good stuff. I really like watching his video package. Um, really enjoyable. Something that's in that video package that I haven't brought up yet is he says in the video package that he may be a little overweight and his ass may be pretty big, but he is a badass and he can kick ass in that win because it's all about heart and stuff like that. And I really like that part of the promo. And I just really like Dusty Rhodes. I've talked enough about. Well, I mean, I can never talk enough about it, but I know they're gonna do the Dusty Rhodes thing tonight on the well, they're doing it right now, but so I'm gonna watch it after I'm done watching the show, and I'm gonna watch that Dusty Rhodes tribute on the WWE Network, and I'll talk about him a lot more then. So yeah, um, but overall, um, it was really good stuff. So then Seth Rollins comes out and he pretty much gloats about his victory over Dean Ambrose in the ladder match. Um, he says he makes a list of people that he wants to thank. Because he said when he went crashing down on the floor and clutching his title, um, he was thinking of all the people he wants to thank, and pretty much on the list is just himself. He just thanks himself a bunch of times because he talks about how Dumb and Dumber J&J Security, which is Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury, was certainly no help. How the Devil's favorite dinosaur, corporate Kane, didn't help, and he didn't need them. He said, and he said he certainly didn't need Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And he talks about how because they're in Cleveland, and somebody for their football team, I believe it's called the Cleveland Browns. This shows I could have that wrong, by the way. He pretty much talks trash and saying that this is and says that Cleveland's never won a championship or probably hasn't won one in a while. Pretty much says, well, this is what a championship looks like, Cleveland, and he pretty much says that he's leaving Cleveland, Ohio. And then Dean Ambrose comes out and he still is limping, so I'm liking the fact that he's selling the knee injury. And he attacks Seth Rollins, beats the crap out of him. Rollins tries to go after the knee and tries to slam it on the announce table, but Ambrose fights him off and he jumps off the announce table and attacks him. And then Ambrose grabs a chair, and then he says that he had his hands on the championship, and he says that when Rollins talks out here, makes him realize that he never wants this thing to end. He wants to continue to make Seth Rollins' life a living hell. So he's gonna host a sit-in, and he's gonna take over the show until Seth Rollins comes back out, and that's the end of part one. So let's see where it go. Let's see what happens next. All right, so Dean Ambrose is still doing his sit-in, and Seth Rollins goes into Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's office and asks what they're gonna do about it, and Triple H says that they've taken care of it, and Seth Rollins says that's great. Dean Ambrose has no says that he already beat Ambrose. He has no right to take over their show. And Stephanie McMahon says, I thought you said you didn't need us anymore. And Seth Rollins says that he never said that. And Triple H's like, what are you calling her a liar? He's like, well, no. I just meant like I didn't need you last night to beat Dean Ambrose. I was just trying to gloat to the fans, rub it in their face. They even said he said that Dean Ambrose has no right to go after his WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And then Triple H and Stephanie McMahon said that they're gonna and he says that he wants to move on to the next opponent. And Triple H and Stephanie McMahon say that tonight they're gonna decide Seth Rollins' next opponent for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And Seth Rollins wants to get a say on who his opponent is, but Triple H says, well, we had confidence in you to beat Dean Ambrose on your own last night, so you should have confidence in us to pick your next opponent. And then that was it. Thought that was fine. And then Dean Ambrose is still doing the sit, and he was actually watching that that promo, well, that backstage segment go on the Titantron, which was kind of cool. And then Sheamus comes out, and he says that him and Ambrose are both very similar. They both had goals last night to win, but the difference is Ambrose lost, and he won and became Mr. Money in the Bank. And he said that anytime that the champion's down, he is just going to be one bro kick away of becoming the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And then he says that the Authority has sent Sheamus out there to lay him out with the bro kick. So we get Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus. This match was pretty good. Sheamus really works over the leg of Ambrose. He throws him into the steel steps. And Ambrose hits his chops and punches in the corner, and he tries to do that drop kick, but Sheamus hits a chop block on him, which was kind of a cool spot. And then Ambrose hits Ambrose has him in a headlock, and he tries to go off the ropes. And then Sheamus hits like a wicked high knee that looked like the bro kick on Ambrose. That was cool. And then he targeted the leg of Ambrose. He gets him in the second submission hold where he bends his leg back over his head, which was really cool. And then Ambrose starts to make a comeback. Well, that's not exactly what happened. Sheamus is doing the Ted beats of the Babylon in the corner. And he kind of gets upset when the fans start counting about it, which I like because he did that because he's never done that before. And then Ambrose does it while he's outside the ring, and then Sheamus goes to give him a high knee, and Ambrose reverses it, and he hangs him up on the top rope. And then he starts dominating Sheamus. He hits a clothesline in the corner, and then the Bulldog. And then Sheamus hits a Rolling Senton, I think it's called, on Ambrose, and then he gets him in the Texas Cloverleaf. And then Ambrose gets to the rope, so Sheamus has to break the hold. And then Ambrose hits a rebound clothesline on Sheamus, and he goes for the dirty deeds. But then Sheamus tries to walk away. He says he doesn't need this. He's Mr. Money in the Bank. And then Randy Orton comes out, and Ambrose attacks Sheamus, puts him back in the ring, beats him with a roll-up. Then afterwards, Randy Orton starts beating the crap out of Sheamus. He throws him headfirst into the steel post, and then he hits a rope DDT on him, and then he goes for an RKO, but Sheamus reverses it and escapes, and Randy Orton stands tall. I thought this was fine. I have some interest in seeing Randy Orton versus Sheamus, so I don't mind it. And then Seth Rollins is backstage, and J&J Security come up, and Jamie Noble, and Seth Rollins says, I told you so, and he says that he's willing to hire him back as his security if he has any information, and tells him who Triple H and Stephanie McMahon plan to have me defend my championship against. And Jamie Noble says that he has no information, that they don't have any information, but even if they did, they wouldn't tell him. And he says that he hears rumors that Joey Mercury might be your opponent because he pinned you last week. And Seth Rollins says that that's a joke to see that match, pretty much. And then Joey Mercury says that you're probably afraid of me. And that's about it. I thought it was pretty good stuff. And they pretty much also say that you're going to have to live with the fact that forever on the record books it shows that J&J Security beat Seth Rollins. So I thought that was really good. And then they paid tribute to Dusty Rhodes. They show one of his old matches. It shows him, Dusty Rhodes, beating Harley Race for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and it happened on August 21st, 1979. It was a nice moment to see. And I'm glad they're paying tribute to Dusty Rhodes. Like I said, I've been saying I think Dusty Rhodes is awesome, so I'm glad they're paying tribute to him. And that's about all that's happened so far, so I'll be back after I've watched part 3. Alright, so RTruth comes out to do commentary for the next match, and he's calling himself Ken What's Up now. He's wearing a crown now. He has a toilet plunger, like supposed to be like a scepter. I thought it was kind of funny. And Ken Barrett comes out, and he's supposed to have a match, and RTruth, or Ken What's Up, is talking to JBL and everybody on commentary. He still calls Byron Saxton Jonathan Coachman, which I think is awesome. And JBL tells RTruth that he's Ken Barrett's opponent, and he's like, "What you talking about, Willis?" And he says, "You're his opponent." JBL's like, "Who's Willis?" So I guess JBL doesn't get the joke. And RTruth is like, "Hey, don't tell me nothing." So then RTruth goes in the ring, and Barrett just cheap shots him. He beats the crap out of him, and then he goes to do the bull hammer, and then RTruth just beats him with a roll up. Thought that was kind of terrible. He beat him like in a short nothing match. And then afterwards, Barrett hits the bull hammer on him, and he's like, "You think this is a joke? This isn't a joke. I am a real Ken because I won the King of the Ring tournament, and you should all hail Ken Barrett." I thought this was I didn't really think it was that great. I thought this stuff with RTruth was funny, but they're just burying Ken Barrett. They really need to stop pushing this guy. He won the King of the Ring tournament, and you're just burying him, So what's the point of having him win the King of the Ring tournament if you're just gonna bury him? But other than that, I thought this was fine. And then some superstars are backstage, and they're with this performer that Heath Slater thinks is somebody else, but Zack Ryder knows who he is. To be honest with you, I forget his name. But he's going to be performing tonight. I might fast forward through that part when it gets to the show. And Paige comes up. The most important part is Paige comes up. And Summer Rae, Emma, and some other divas were there. And Paige says there's going to be like a meeting, but it's not going to be a locker room. So I'm going to text you the location. So they're probably going to do like some lame-ass meeting that I'm not going to give a shit about, but I'm going to watch anyways. Maybe I will give a shit about it, but I'm probably not going to give a shit about it, but whatever. And then Kevin Owens comes out, and he talks about why he laid out John Cena. He says that John Cena's not here tonight, and he says that that's his fault because after he beat him last night, John Cena wouldn't just go away. When I beat John Cena, I just went backstage. I didn't stay in the ring and try to steal somebody else's spotlight. But John Cena stayed in and he told me stuff I already knew that I belonged here. And he says, I've been wrestling for 15 years, and the moment that I stepped into the WWE, I knew that I belonged here, which I like that he said that. And then Kevin Owens says that I powerbombed John Cena right into that apron right there. And he says that he owns a victory over John Cena. So he says that the next time they face off, he wants it to be for the United States Championship so he can beat him for it. And he says that this would be the time that John Cena would come out and issue his open challenge for the U.S. title, but he's not here to do that, so I'm going to do that same thing. So he calls out an open challenge to anybody to come out and face Kevin Owens. And Dolph Ziggler comes out with Lana in his corner, and they kiss, which is the first time that's happened, but they've happened a lot, but this is the first time they've actually kissed during an entrance like that. Dolph Ziggler says that he's not out here to defend John Cena. He says that he had to scratch and claw to get where he is in the WWE, and Cleveland's had to scratch and claw to get themselves a championship, and tonight he's going to bring them home one. So then Lillian Garcia goes to make the announcement that this match is for the NXT Championship, but Kevin Owens says that this is a non-title match. So then we get the match starts, and the match actually hasn't finished, so when the match finishes, I'll come back and cover it. But to be honest with you, this was some pretty good stuff right here. Okay, so now we have the match between Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. This match was awesome. I really enjoyed this match. Kevin Owens hits the senton on him, and he really dominates Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler clotheslines him and Kevin Owens outside the ring, which was cool. And then Kevin Owens chucks Dolph Ziggler right over the timekeeper's area. That was a great spot. Then they get in the ring, and Ziggler hits a jump DDT on Owens, but he rolls outside the ring. And then Owens goes to hit Cannonball into the corner. Ziggler hits an awesome super kick, and Owens kicks out of it. Then Kevin Owens goes for the pump-up powerbomb. Ziggler jumps over him, hits the zigzag, and he can't make the pinfall in time, so Kevin Owens had some time to recover, so Owens kicks out. Then Kevin Owens hits a super kick and then the pump-up powerbomb for the win. This match was awesome, and I thought Kevin Owens was really strong. And I'm glad John Cena didn't come out, because it wouldn't make any sense that John Cena came out after he got pump-up powerbombed on the apron, so I'm glad that didn't happen. And then we get that segment that I knew I wouldn't give a shit about. It's Paige trying to rally up all the divas in the locker room to stand up against the Bella Twins, and it doesn't fucking work. The Bellas come up and say, Nikki and Brie says, Nikki says that ever since that I helped Stephanie McMahon win at SummerSlam, and then she says, no offense, Brie. And then she's like, none taken. None taken? Does this prove that storyline went fucking nowhere? I would be like, no. I'm taking fucking offense to that bitch, because that was my chance to get retribution for Daniel Bryan, because they have all the hell they put him through. You turned your back on me, so it's just like, I mean, she made her life a living hell when she was her assistant, even though technically we didn't get to see half that shit anyways, but all of a sudden they're all good now. This just proves that they didn't have a story with that. So everyone just leaves. No one's going to join Paige's side. This could actually be interesting, though, if they get the NXT woman to come up and join Paige's side and just beat the crap out of the Bella Twins. That would be awesome. And why the fuck is Paige going to fight both of them in a handicap match? That's a fucking idiot. What I would do is I would take one out backstage in the locker room, and then, boom, you're done. Or maybe like, I don't know, just anything but what they're not doing. The match between Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler was good, but the backstage segment, they did it like in an awkward place. Why wouldn't they do it in the locker room if the Bella Twins intervened anyways? How'd the Bella Twins even know this was going to happen? And the thing that didn't make any sense about it is Naomi and Tamina Snuka. No, that's not what didn't make any sense about it, but I want to get to that. There's all the divas are heels, so why the hell would they align themselves with a babyface to join, so she could join them fighting heels? And the Bella Twins flip-flop so many times anyways, and to be honest with you, this is kind of a heel-like move to do to try to rally up people to go again, and to make a group to go against two people. That's kind of a heel-like move. The Bella Twins, though, they're going to flip-flop so many times. They really dropped the ball with Naomi. Why the fuck doesn't Natalya join up with them? I would think Natalya would have an interest in this. This is so fucking stupid. And it's just fucking stupid. So I have a feeling in the handicap match, someone will come out. Maybe Charlotte will come out from NXT. That's the only person I could come up with, but I don't want to see Charlotte get brought up because she's doing so good on NXT. So we're going to have to wait and see how this goes down. Alright, so we get Randy Orton versus Corporate Kane. The match was fine. During the match, Sheamus comes out, and Kane, since he's the director of operations, makes it a no-holds-barred match. So then Orton and Sheamus start attacking Kane. Orton tries to fight him off the best he can, but then Kane hits a right hand on him, and Sheamus hits a brogue kick, and Kane covers him for the win. And Sheamus holds up his briefcase afterwards. I thought this was fine. I thought the finish was unique. It was better than just the referee getting distracted and then and then Kane wins. I thought the no holds barred step made it a little bit better. So then Kane's backstage, and Seth Rollins comes up and says that he retained his WWE World Heavyweight Championship all by himself. He didn't need his help, and he says that Kane was probably one of his biggest doubters. And Seth Rollins says that you should respect me because I'm like an all-time great or something like that. And Kane says just because you win one match doesn't make you an all-time great. You have to go in there and win match after match after match all on your own. And Seth Rollins says that you always had to have somebody hold your hand, like the corporation and the authority, Paul Bear and your brother, the Undertaker. And then Kane grabs his neck and tells him never to mention his brother again. And Seth Rollins says, "Don't you put your hands on me, I'm the champion." And he says that you're nothing. I hope the authority picks you to be my opponent. I kind of hope that happens and Kane remasks, but that's probably not going to happen. And then we get Big Show versus The Miz with Ryback on commentary for the match. I thought Ryback did fine on commentary. This match wasn't anything special. Miz keeps trying to escape, and this was actually kind of cool. Big Show acts like his knee got hurt, but this was just to sucker Miz in so that way he would fight him. And Big Show throws Miz into Ryback, and Big Show and Ryback have a face-off, and this distracts Big Show, and Miz gets in the win, and Big Show loses by countout. And then afterwards, Ryback tries to hit the meat-hook clothesline on Big Show, but he escapes. It feels like they definitely want to turn Big Show face because he's facing heel Miz, and him and Miz have an issue. But I think they know. But I think the WWE knows that we're keeping track of how often Big Show turns face and heel. That they are just gonna keep him heel. So I think that's definitely what's happening here because he talks trash more to Miz than he does to Ryback. But I definitely think they're gonna set up a feud between Ryback, Big Show, and Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. And I think that would be fine, I guess. Alright, so Roman Reigns comes out, and he pretty much doesn't want to wait till Battleground face off with Bray Wyatt. He wants to face him right now. But then Bray Wyatt comes on the screen, and he says that the reason he pretty much did what he did to Roman Reigns is because 2 weeks ago in the match on Raw, Roman Reigns took away his opportunity to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Which I guess is true. Sort of. Not really, because Roman Reigns just won the match. You know, he was the better man. But he talks about how, and he knew a boy in his village or something that was chosen to be the chosen one. And then the other guy was just nothing. They just kind of looked at him like he was nothing. He got overpassed by this guy. And he says that he wants to fight Roman Reigns, but it wouldn't be a good example for Father's Day. And then he shows a picture of Roman Reigns, and I think that's supposed to be his daughter or something. And then he tells Roman Reigns to run. He said more, but that's pretty much the gist of the promo. To be honest with you, this does have some interest. Now that he's shown this picture, maybe maybe they can bring Roman Reigns' family into it, but I don't think they will. The reason I'm not interested in it is it just feels like that for a couple of reasons that they're just feeding Bray Wyatt to Roman Reigns so he can just beat him and just give Roman Reigns something to do. And I feel like that they should have kind of just pulled the trigger and given Roman Reigns the Money in the Bank briefcase and just have him cash in and finally become the champion. So that's why I feel like that it's just kind of eh. And then what happened next? I don't remember. I'm just gonna. Oh, let me get Paige versus the Bella Twins. The match wasn't bad. I just didn't give a shit. Paige lost, which I knew was gonna happen. Nikki hits the rack attack for the win. I don't really give a shit about the storyline. At least they're trying to build up a storyline with the Divas, but they're doing it with Paige and Nikki Bella again. So what are they going to do? Do Paige versus Nikki Bella again? I didn't have any... I mean, they've done this match so many times. How many times are they going to do this match? That was about it. So, yeah, whatever. Okay, so, Machine Gun Kelly performs, and I skipped right over that. I ain't watching that, you know. Not gonna lie, I don't watch a wrestling show to watch people sing songs, you know. You should only be doing that around Mania time. Even then, I don't watch it. I get food doing that, so no. You know, I feel bad for people that pay money that they have to see that. Well, at least it's in his hometown, but still, I would still feel ripped off because I'm paying to go to a wrestling show, not a freaking concert. Um, but then it gets good, and I'm gonna give him a pass just because they needed him for the segment that's about to happen. I'm so lucky that I caught this. I just randomly just picked a time to go to on the video and just fast forwarded it, and then Kevin Owens comes out doing this, um, and they get into like a little face off, and Kevin Owens power bombs, um, Machine Gun Kelly right off the stage. Um, and I thought this was fucking awesome. It made Kevin Owens look really strong here. This gets him really good heat because he attacked the guy in his hometown. Um, I still don't think he should have lost to John Cena last night. You know, he would look. Can you imagine though? Like, think about this. If he had beaten Cena last night, won this match, and then did this, he would look like $1,000,000. Um, you know, but he still looks really good. You know, I just feel like he would look so much better if he still had beaten Cena last night. Um, but that was awesome. You could totally tell though that the guy lands on something soft down there because you can totally see it. But it was awesome. I gotta admit though, the guy Kevin Owens looked like he was about to drop him. I thought he was going to, you know. But I gotta admit, I thought this was pretty cool. Um, you know, this is the way that a wrestler should be booked anytime a celebrity comes in. They shouldn't be afraid of him, and that's the way Kevin Owens was booked. So I'm happy about this. And right now, currently, I'm watching Neville team up with the primetime players, which consist of Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. And then before that, they cut like a little promo talking about how they're the new WWE Tag Team Champions, mocking the New Day, which consists of Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods, and saying that they're the new WWE Tag Team Champions. And they do the impression with the New Age Outlaws, which consists of the Road Dogg Jesse James and the Badass Billy Gunn. And they face the New Day. And the New Day cut a promo talking about how they're going to stay positive about how they lost the tag team titles. Who gives a shit? The New Day fucking suck. But right now the match is actually pretty good. Right now the faces are kind of dominating the heels. And Kofi Kingston's ribs are taped up from the Money in the Bank ladder match from, it's like one about to be 2 in the morning from Sunday then. But his ribs are taped up from that. But Neville did a dive right onto Woods and Big E. And I'm enjoying the match so far. Right now the faces are just dominating the heels right now. But I'm enjoying this match so far. So I'm going to continue watching it. Alright, so the match between Neville and the Primetime Players versus the New Day continues. The New Day gets the heat on Darren Young for a while. And then Neville gets the hot tag. He had some pretty good, cool moves on Xavier Woods. Then the finish comes when Darren Young hits the Gutbuster on Kofi Kingston. And then Neville hits the red arrow on him for the win. I thought this was solid. I kind of like to see them on pay-per-view do a match between Neville and Kofi Kingston. Kind of do a feud there, you know. That would be kind of cool. But I don't know if they will. It was really cool. I liked it. And then Dean Ambrose is backstage, and he's throwing darts at a picture with Seth Rollins on it. I thought that was pretty cool. And Corporate Kane comes up and says, as director of operations, I think you're like an unstable person for this company or something. And Dean Ambrose says that he wants to get that title shot. Nothing's going to stop him from getting it. And he says that you could get it as well. And he talks about how... and Kane says that he's been WWE champion before. But he said, well, yeah, you have it. But not this version of Kane. The version of Kane that's all about hell, fire, and brimstone. And what is this version of Kane? You know, all he is a lapdog. He just is an errand boy. And Kane says that he's the director of operations of a multi-dollar, billion-dollar company. And then Dean Ambrose says that's what it says on your business card, but what you actually are is 2 different things. And Dean Ambrose says that he had a hold of that championship, and he's not going to stop until he gets it. And that's what he lives for. And he asked Kane what he lives for. So now they're about to announce who Seth Rollins' opponent is going to be. I feel like it's going to be Kane, but we're going to have to wait and see. I kind of want it to be Kane. Maybe Kane finally remasks and just comes out and beats the shit out of Seth Rollins. That would be really cool, but we're going to have to wait and see. Okay, so Triple H and Stephanie McMahon come out, and they talk some bullshit about, like, who could possibly be Seth Rollins' next opponent for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Then, Seth Rollins comes out and says that he feels confident, because after beating Dean Ambrose last night all by himself, he feels like he can beat anybody that they put in front of him. And they talk about how they invested so much into Seth Rollins that they want to test him to see whether or not he'll be like a coal and crumble, or he'll be like a diamond and shine, or something like that. And we find out his opponent making his WWE return is Brock Lesnar. I thought that was awesome. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman return, and him and Rollins have a face-off, and Rollins escapes, and Lesnar stands tall. And we find out that this match is going to happen at Battleground. At Battleground, Brock Lesnar is going to wrestle a match at Battleground. That's awesome. I cannot wait to see that. Yeah, it was Raw this week. But yeah, I feel like Lesnar should have done something though, just because he really wanted to get his hands on this guy. This guy screwed him over, so I feel like he kind of should have like beaten the shit out of him. But whatever. But overall, for Raw, you had some good things. You had this segment here. You had the segment with Rollins and Ambrose. The Sheamus Ambrose match was good. The Orton and Kane match was fine. I thought the finish was unique. Trying to remember what else was on this show. The Divas stuff I didn't really give a shit about. Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler was really good, and his promo before the match was really good. And Kevin Owens laying out the performer, the musician, Machine Gun. I don't even remember. What else happened on the show? The 6-man tag team match wasn't bad. There was something else. But you had stuff too, like RTruth versus King Barrett, the Miz and Big Show stuff I didn't care about. Like I said, the Diva stuff I didn't care about. Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, I'm just not interested in that. So there was a lot of stuff that was kind of a downer. So I'm going to have to say this was kind of like an average show, because there was stuff I liked, but there was stuff I didn't like, and that kind of balanced itself out. But I don't know, like some of the good stuff kind of overweighed the bad, but some of the bad stuff overweighed the good, It's so tough to kind of rate this show. And yeah, we got to see some good Dusty Rhodes moments, but that wasn't really part of the show. Trying to think. Let me kind of go. I'm gonna see if I can find the match code first, so that way I can judge it then. Yes, I like the Rollins Ambrose stuff. The Ambrose Sheamus match was good. Yeah, RTruth King Barrett didn't care for that. This backstage segment between Rollins and J&J Security was good. Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler had a good match, and the promo that before that was good. Kane and Orton was solid. The finish was unique, and the backstage segment between Kane and Rollins was good. Miz and Big Show didn't care for that. Yeah, I'm not really interested in the Roman Reigns Bray Wyatt feud. Bella Twins, the Diva stuff I didn't give a shit about. But then again, you had to deal with the guy performed too, so Machine Gun Kelly, so I'm gonna say it was an average show just because of that. Even though they had some good things on the show, I still have to say it was an average show just because there was still some things I just didn't care for. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. You can click down on the left-hand corner to subscribe, and I'll be back. I'm going to watch the Dusty Rhodes thing, and when I get an opportunity, I definitely will get that up there. But that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.